But in the first part of the video, what we were able to do was get the highlight tool installed, which was the add-in for the Google Docs. We also set up our library in there that created highlighting colors to use that aligned with our coding key that we found on the assignment. These codes will be explained in more detail during class, but if you need to look back at them and find out exactly what we were talking about and what gets coded, then I've linked that in the template document, and you can open that up. So we're talking about references to racial disparity in the United States and or abroad, references to criminal activity and elements associated with that, references to intentional acts of harm against a person with the intent to hurt. Those are what we're considering, and that's what we're looking for instances of in the lyrics that we're examining. So the colors should align with the coding structure that we set up and we talked about in class. You should find those on the coding key in the template for your lyrical highlights assignment, but you should also build those out in a highlighter library so that they match. After you've done that, then you need to fill out the rest of the information. So I need to put the title. I picked Hit 'Em Up by Tupac. That artist's name is Tupac. I also can go and find the link. As you remember, we're copying and pasting from A to Z lyrics. We're not copying and pasting from another place, and that's due to the formatting issues that some of the other ones present. I'm going to include the link as well here. But now I've got the top part of my template completed with the lyrics pasted down below, and what we need to find are instances of themes that we see in the song. So in this first case, I see a word that is sets off a light. We talked about this in terms of coding words that we're using to indicate some kind of reference to gender, sexual preference, or sexual activity. In this case, a derogatory term for a woman is found in this, and that means we need to code that with the green color. So I'm going to highlight. Actually, I'm going to highlight this whole phrase because now that I read it on, I see that this whole thing is a sexual reference. And I highlight it, and then I go over to my highlight library. You see that, and I selected the code. Now that shows up here. West Side, this might be considered a gang reference. Again, so this could be a reference to crime. We also see a reference beside that to violence with where we have the word killer. So bad boy killers. In this sense, it's not, maybe Tupac isn't necessarily talking about killing people, but the intent is to harm, whether he's just bragging or boasting. In this case, a specific reference to bad boy. So we're going to code that with violence. Take money, again, a reference this time to crime. We're talking about robbery. It could be if it's violent, with violent intent as well. So we're going to just continue to go through the document as we see different themes arising throughout this. And then what's really cool is with the highlight document, once I'm done, I can extract the highlights using this bottom right portion by color. And what it's actually going to do is extract those highlights, and it asks me, where do you want to put them, in a new document or the current document? So what I'd like you to do is just choose current document and click extract, and it will run the course. Now it might take longer because you're going to have more highlights than this particular sample, but what we should hopefully see is down at the bottom, after all the lyrics, once we've highlighted and then run the extraction, is, come on, here we go, a labeling key that goes along with our highlight library, and then the specific instances that we found for each of those particular pieces. So hopefully that's helpful in getting you going. Those are the basics to the lyrical highlights assignment. Again, something that we're going to practice in class and you should already have experience with, and something that we're going to do multiple times throughout the semester. Thanks a lot.